Well, Sagamore Hills man who pleaded guilty to child pornography charges doesn't get any jail time.
And what may be even more surprising, the detective investigating the case tipped him off weeks before his arrest.
19 investigator Mike Mason is breaking the story for us tonight.
We discovered that 3 weeks before police executed a search warrant for this suspect's home, the lead detective warned him and his attorney about charges they planned to file against him.
I want old laptop.
Your 19 First Alert forecast.
Video shows Sagamore Hills police executing a search warrant at the home of 24-year-old Anthony Strong back in October of last year.
Anthony Strong, hands up, please.
This is for any alleged child porn, any electronics, anything will be seized.
Officers didn't find any evidence. However, Strong was eventually convicted of 1 count of possessing child pornography.
All right, so this is the condensed version of that whole video. But let me get this straight. A man can be deaf and have cerebral palsy and can be attacked and brutalized by police officers without any idea as to what's going on, what happened, what he allegedly did, or anything. And charges continue to be pressed upon him, felony charges, even though it's understood that he's deaf, he didn't know what was going on. They even had a grand jury, a judge set and determined that there was probable cause to go forward on that charge. Yet a man can be convicted of child porn and get no jail time. Somebody explain to me, what kind of a reality is this that we are in? I'm just asking, folks. And then for those of you who claim we're in a post-racial society, are we? Or are we to believe that ethnicity or race had nothing to do with this outcome? I tell you this about race. Had that guy been sent to prison, which is full of people who look like me, he wouldn't have survived long in general population. That much I know. When his paperwork would have gotten a hold of and the boys in those prisons would have known what he was in there for, he wouldn't have survived long. The Jamals and Jesuses of the world who constitute a second tier of American justice behind the wall, they wouldn't have let that injustice go on for very long, for sure. There are certain things that as a society, as a man, we just can't tolerate. And anything that is related to attacking vulnerable aspects of society, any porn, anything child porn, okay. This is all sick. This is all wrong. This is all flawed. Solutions and lessons. What do? Well, I think it's plain to see that the American justice system is flawed. I will say this, though. It is most certainly not the worst. While we are in need of improvements, I do believe that the American jury system, the juror system, is great. It's one of the best things that we have going in this country to date, especially if you can indeed get a jury of 12 of your peers. That's going to be the best case scenario, especially if they're people of honor and integrity who can't be bribed and bullied and who call it like they see it. That's one of the best things we got going. I highlight this story, to emphasize the disease of law, the sickness of law, as it's written and as it's enforced in our current state of affairs today. I also highlight this to emphasize the need for change, the need for an American Renaissance. Okay. This is not the world that many of our forefathers shed blood and died for to give us an opportunity to live in. While I, and I'm sure many of you out there, are grateful for many of the things that we enjoy, and we do enjoy a great many, trust and believe that as much as we've lost and we continue to lose, we are still in a significant position as it relates to a large percentage of the world in which we live. That doesn't mean sit down and go whack off in a corner somewhere to child porn or even hell, adult porn. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to go in on that. If that's your deal and you do that occasionally, whatever, right? I'd advise to get over that at some point because you're just wasting your energy, right? Now, I'm talking in excess, right? The people who, you know, you're excessive. You don't do anything with your life, right? You're just sitting in the corner somewhere. You're a weirdo. You can't even make eye contact with people, and you're just a waste of Earth space. That's obviously not you. However, I know you know what I'm talking about. Take a trip to a grocery store in a low income zip code, and I'm quite sure you'll get a visual of what I'm describing. Or not. I don't recommend that actually. If you're just interested, check it out. Right? We're living in strange times, folks. This is definitely the end game. I'm talking full on Snake Plissken, escape LA, escape New York. We got to be on our Snake Plissken game. That's the only way that we can manage to navigate this matrix and expect to come out on top. Because there's clearly many a great force and factor that are out to get each and every one of us. And while at times there's a racial element, there's a gender element, right? There's an age element, there's a religious element. There are many elements targeting us simultaneously from many different directions. The good news is, though, we can change as individuals and as a society. And if it's meant to be, it's up to you and me. Do what you can where you are with what you have, and we'll be successful.